So first thing we need to do is we need to get some water on our paintbrush. We're not trying to make a watercolor, so not too much. Then we need to mix it 2 parts yellow to 1 part white. You don't want too much white, because then it'll make it like a cream color. Remember, voices are off, eyes are up. We're not painting as we go, just watch. I'm making a pile. I'm not painting this paper. I'm just making a pile of this color that I'm making. I'm going to get some red on my brush. I'm not mixing it directly into the color. I'm going to take this same yellow and take a very small dab, tiny little drop of red, and blend it in. The red is so strong it will make it an orange before you even know it. If you need more, just get another little small drop and blend it back in. If it becomes too orange for you, then you need to add more yellow, add more white. So earbuds are out, eyes are up. So now I'm going to just take this color that I've created and I'm going to paint the top shelf of our Starburst. I'm starting in the middle. If I start on the sides, it tends to pile the paint along the edges, and I don't want to have a border of paint. Lay it on thick. If the paintbrush becomes tacky, that just means it starts to stick. Then you need some more water on your brush. Once again, you don't want a watercolor, so don't do too much. But you want it to be moving freely. Wrist off the paper, wrist off the desk. Now that I've done that, I need to take a very small amount of purple. I'm not going to mix it directly in, but I'm going to pull a small section with this purple. I want a noticeable, or violet, I want a noticeable difference in the tone. I want to see that it's a lot darker. Make sure you're not on your phone and that you're paying attention. If you have your phone out, please put it up. That would be great. Now, everyone should have the photo reference in front of them. You'll notice that in the top corner, it's a lot darker. And over here in this corner, it's quite a bit darker. So I'm just going to bring this on there. It's starting to get tacky, which means I need to add some more water to my brush. You have multiple options to blend it in. You can dab it with a dry brush where the two areas meet. That'll give it a smoother mixed look. Or you can just take your paint brushes and layer them and blend them as you go. You really don't want to see too many brush strokes on this. You want it to be as smooth as possible. If you're not seeing a major difference in the tones of the paint and you want it to be very noticeably different, get the devil out of it. Get a little bit more purple and add it in. So if you're seeing that it looks like the same color and you want to have it darker than it is in another spot, you can add a little bit more of that violet in there. Make it darker in areas. Now we have a dark tone, we have a middle tone, we need a light tone. So I'm going to take this white, this little white area here, and I'm just going to pull a little bit of yellow into that white area. I want it to be noticeably light. Not solid white, but not bright yellow. So now I'm going to figure out where I think the highlights are, the lightest areas are. You can do this with a detail brush if you want to. And I'm going to pull into where the lighter areas are. Now right now I just have base tone, I just have a basic value in there. Now I'm going to paint the rest with the middle tone. Technically you could do this all at one time if you want to. Really want to focus on making sure that I'm staying in the lines. Now come back in with that dark tone again and find the darkest areas. I see that this dark area comes in and around. I'm not outlining it and making a black area, a black line to differentiate it. I'm not making a white line. I'm actually just taking the dark tones to create a area of value change that separates the two areas. So looking at the photo for reference as you go will really help you out. You'll see where there's some darker areas. There's a cast reflection here, so it's really light on the bottom area, so we're going to leave that without dark on it. Now you'll see some lighter spots where it's very white. I'm actually going to get a little brush for this. I'm going to get a smaller detail brush for this little white highlight area. Kind of runs along the top, little cast reflections. And then I don't want to just leave it looking like that. That's that impasto technique. That's that Van Gogh that we looked at. We really want to kind of blend that out so it's not so obvious that it's a big white highlight. But that'll create areas of separation so that you can see that it's a three-dimensional object. Make sense? When you're done, yours is going to look a whole lot better than this unfinished version. You can keep adding paint as you go. If it starts to get too tacky, you can continue to build layers. Just add more paint on your brush, a little bit of water on your brush, and you can keep building it up and smoothing it out. When you're done, yours should look a lot like this finished one. Got it?